Good evening, Brian. It is actually Tuesday, and this is the first vlog in a couple vlogs that is posted on the day that it is supposed to be posted on. So that's pretty exciting. We are finally caught back up. So I really liked your vlog this morning. I liked you explaining a little bit about the creation of your last vlog and how you did all of that, as well as some other creative areas that you've been getting into. And one thing you mentioned was that you wanted to get better at cooking in general and cooking without recipes, but that you felt that you wanted to practice cooking with recipes, sort of as a way to train up to that, or to get to that point where you can understand the fundamentals and basics of cooking. And I think that's a really great idea. I think often people feel like just following a recipe is kind of not real cooking, or it's less involved, or it's less valid for some reason, but I think that's not true. Just about anything that you can make has probably been made before. And also, there's so many specific things with cooking that are specific techniques, as well as other things that sort of go against what you would intuitively think to be the case, that it's kind of important to sort of see what other people are doing, see how things are done, and learn from those things before you try and strike it on your own. For example, in general, when people first start cooking, they are a little bit too afraid to use high heat. Maybe they start using high heat and they burn something and then they're immediately scarred, and they're really hesitant to use high heat when they're cooking. But a lot of times, depending on what you're doing, what you want is high heat. You just have to attend to it quickly and stir things or turn them, or only cook them for a short period. But if you cook something, if certain things, that if things need to be cooked at high heat and you cook them lower than that, they might end up getting soggy, they might never get crispy or brown. It just might not be what you're looking for. So that's one thing. Another example of things that are sort of backwards from what you would intuitively think is that a lot of times you want to mess with things, and some things, especially proteins that you're frying in a pan or trying to get a sear on, you have to leave them alone. You see, I'm sure, pictures of burgers or other things where you get like a nice crispy brown char on the bottom of it, and it's great, but you can only get that if you put it on the hot pan and then leave it. At first, it's gonna stick to the pan, and you try and turn it and it's not gonna work, and if you try and flip it or get spatula under there, it's just gonna tear it up and mess it up. But if you are patient and let it sit, after a minute or two, you'll notice it itself will separate and it will no longer be stuck, and then you can flip it easily and it's got a nice brown area on the top. Things like that. So I think it's really important to, find good recipes out there and to cook from them a lot. And not only that, but also to pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention to how they're doing certain things and why they're doing certain things and the way they tell you to do things. Pay attention to what works when you're cooking and what doesn't. If you're following what they've said, but it doesn't seem like you're getting the same results as them, maybe figure out why that is. And also, I think it's really beneficial to really just think about the food. Think about it while you're cooking, think about it while you're eating it. Notice when you're eating it, like, is this a little bit too soggy and oily, or did it get nice and crispy? How can I make this a little bit different the next time? What can I do differently? This is really good, but it needs something tangy, like lime juice or hot sauce or something. But the more you are just aware of what you're doing and really being attentive and paying attention to it and thinking about it, the more you'll start to analyze things and you'll start to improve for the next time. I am by no means a great cook, but I'm a whole lot better than I used to be. And part of that is just because I have to cook, we cook so often now. We rarely go out to eat, but we, cook almost every meal, every night during the week, all the time. And so I've definitely gotten a lot better at that, both at mastering basic techniques about knife skills and how to use a pan and all of that, but also having an intuitive sense of knowing how things are progressing and how to do certain things. If I have an idea, or if I try something and know it's not how I want, I know how to get it there. And I think that just comes to practice. So I'm really excited that you're going to get more into cooking and are planning on spending more time with it. And I look forward to seeing what you do with that. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow, Brian.